Today, we're talking about how most habit trackers in Notion haven't worked for me, so I set up something different that does. Hi, I'm Bridget, she, her, systems and self care witch. I'm a Notion consultant and I build intentional systems for neurodivergent creatives who want to feel proud, successful, and get shit done. Thank you for being here and thank you for subscribing to my channel and supporting my small business. Let's get into it. Typically, I've seen people set up habit trackers to look like a little checklist of things to mark off on each day. And yes, it's fun to check things off, but that always left me feeling overwhelmed and like I wasn't doing a good enough job. I was overwhelmed because I didn't know which few habits to pick and put on the list. If you've been here for a while, you know I have ADHD. I'm also a manifesting generator in human design, which is AKA I like to do a bunch of different things. And I need to feel like I have the freedom to switch things up when I'm feeling stale, bored, or like I need to or want to try new or different things. I focus a lot on self-care and I have a large list of different resources and activities I could do at any given time. So I felt really, really limited with a checklist because what do I do if I want to track something that is not on my checklist? I didn't know where to put that on there. I just couldn't make it make sense for my brain. And I also felt like I wasn't doing a good enough job at my habits because I would end up with a list of a bunch of different things on it, and a lot of the checkboxes would be empty. So even though I was doing a lot to take care of myself, it was like those little empty white boxes negated everything good that I was doing. Seeing all of those empty check boxes did not make me feel good. Another thing is that I like to see what I've done over time. And if I gave myself a curated checklist with only a few habits on it, then when I change that checklist as I change my habits, I would lose out on the ability to track all of my habits over time in a way that makes sense for my brain. So I went about tracking my habits in a different way. And funny enough, I didn't actually set out to create a habit tracker. This process that I'm going to show you started in January 2021, specifically to start tracking the things that my partner and I do together throughout the month, which we review in our monthly relationship check-ins. If you're interested in that, we use the radar format from Multiamory, which you can check out more on their website. I'll link it below. Later that year in August, I realized that this database would also be a really great place for me to track my personal self-care habits. So I started adapting it to have properties that would allow me to do both. And I like tracking both the things I do with my partner and the things that I do solo all in one place. That makes it really easy for me and my brain. Since I started out this habit tracker not as a habit tracker, but as a fun log, I named it my Radar Fun Log. And I actually really like that as a name for a habit tracker, so I kept it. My favorite way to view this database is the calendar view. And in this database, I have different templates set up for my most frequent habits, aka my self-care or other fun things that I want to keep track of, that I do that enrich my life. And these templates here make it really easy to track my habits with one click. So at the top, I have all of my solo activities, and then a divider here and all of the activities that my partner and I do together. And I'll open this up so you can see what it looks like. I like to use a corresponding emoji so that my brain can see at a quick glance across here what the activity was. That makes it really easy for me when I'm reviewing. I utilize emojis in this way for visual categorization across my whole Notion workspace. And if you want to see more in depth into that process, check out my video. I will link here. I also use this multi-select property here. I named it Who, And this lets me go ahead and track if it was something that I did on my own or something that we did together. And this makes it really easy for separating the habits out when I'm reviewing them later on in places like my weekly review or in our relationship radar reviews. So, fast forwarding to January 2023, I added this property. I named it What? And it is a multi-select property to say what the category of each habit is so that I can easily filter and see specific types of habits if I'm trying to track something in particular. This comes in particularly handy here on my Shred dashboard, which is my workout dashboard, going down to my view of the fun log that I have here. You can see that I have filtered it to show just things that are pertaining to movement and exercise. So I've only checked those boxes so that that's what shows up on my workout dashboard. And if you're interested in a workout dashboard, I am working on a template, so keep your eyes peeled for that to drop soon. Now, most recently, this year in May 2024, I started tracking this new property. It's a text property called What I Enjoyed. And this is where I can write down a little snippet of my favorite part of the activity. And so this helps me to be more present in the activity, noticing what I'm enjoying and then documenting it. So I'm able to tap back into that joy easier later on when I review it. All right, and now getting into how I actually use this tracker to make it really easy for me. For inputting habits, I use my iPhone, and then for reviewing, I do that later on the desktop app. When I am inputting, I use the Notion widget on my phone, so it's super quick and easy to access. From there, I tap on today's date, which automatically fills out the date property, so it's one less thing that I have to do. And then I scroll through and pick my habit from the list of templates that already has all the other corresponding properties filled in as well. And if what I'm tracking is something different than any of the templates, it's easy enough to just add a new one in. And if that new thing becomes a regular habit, I'll make a new template for it. Now, the phone calendar view isn't good for reviewing since it just looks like a bunch of dots. So that's why I do the reviews on the desktop app. That way I can see the emojis, the name of what I did, any other relevant properties I want to see depending on which review I'm doing. And this is what it looks like inside my weekly review. I've got templates. I do this at the end of every week. And if I scroll down to the weekly review part in this toggle here, I've got my fun log and I have it filtered to just show me everything from the past week. So when I show up on Saturday to do this review, it'll show me everything that both of us have done throughout the week, and I get to review all of that. I also chose a database cover image that I think is really funny and ridiculous. It brings me a lot of joy, and I would highly recommend choosing something that helps you tap into those vibes and helps you feel excited and motivated to stick with your habits, because that's going to help make it easier for you to do them and to track them when you're seeing something like that. It's also going to make it fun to review, and you're going to be more motivated to just keep on this journey for yourself. And I did create a habit tracker / fun log dashboard for you. You can check it out at the link below. This is a little walkthrough of what you got. You've got your fun log database here. This is the back end. You've got your month view, your week view, and then a table where you can see all of the different properties. I have populated it with a bunch of the templates so you can see it, what it looks like in action. And back on the dashboard here, you have the week view, some fun photos, the month view, another fun photo. I recommend getting in here, customizing these pictures to make it fun and motivating for yourself. And I've also got you hooked up with some templates here to start. So to see how those templates work, you can click on this plus button, choose one of the templates, and then it already has everything filled out for you. and you can go ahead on in and edit any of these templates, add your own, have fun with it, have fun tracking your habits. And if you want some further customization and help integrating this into your current workspace or places like your weekly review, go ahead and book a consult. I would be more than happy to help you customize it and do a custom project with you. If you've got your own Notion habit tracker or even a non-Notion habit tracker, I would love to hear how you track these things, what you've found that works, and what doesn't work for your brain. Let me know in the comments. And if you want to try out my habit tracker template, the link is in the description. As always, thanks for being here and thanks subscribing, and I'll see you in the next one.